Hello, welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about psychology. I don't know why I always trip up when I start saying this. Psychology, philosophy, and metaphysics. I took some notes this time, so let's see how this message goes. I was watching a video by Profound Pondering. Very brilliant guy, definitely recommend. And he's talking about letting go in the sense of letting go of the things that aren't you and that you don't possess, and understanding that who and what you are is in the present moment. And really all we need to do is take the opportunities in life to exercise or to practice the person that we want to be. This is a concept that I have actually touched on before, specifically with manifestation and abundance. I remember specifically talking about how if you want to live a rich lifestyle, right, or an abundant lifestyle, the way I think a lot of us get caught up in thinking that to live like you're rich or to live in the end of something, to already be the person that has the life that you want, I think a lot of us mistaken this for literal. So for example, if I am manifesting riches and or wealth and being abundant, then I should just be able to spend whatever I want. But there's an energetic way to do this without living beyond your means or living in a way that is going to reinforce the opposite for you. And in that video, that example that I'm talking about, that I was talking about in that video, I mentioned something about how you can pay people compliments, or if you go out and you get service, you don't have to leave a crazy tip. You can leave a regular tip, and then also just verbally tell that person that their service was great, and that might even give them more value than actual money would. So what this guy was talking about, he mentioned something in the facet of, what was it? What he was talking about is letting go of narratives that kind of keep you away from being in the present moment, and how the way to become some certain things or to have certain experiences is to take the small opportunities to experience them. So what I was an example that I'm thinking about now, or the example that was sparked when I heard him talking about it, was with success. It's like a lot of us are determined whether we're successful or not based on if we obtain the outcome that we had aimed for when we started. And the issue with this is when we're so focused on the end goal and making that happen, instead we end up separating ourselves from whatever that is. So in the terms of success, right, it's like if the way that you see success is you have a specific amount of money in your bank, and you have you're able to afford a house, a car, and go on vacations and stuff, then of course you're going to feel separated from success if those aren't the things that you have now. If your life isn't reflecting that you have those things now, how can you feel successful? But if you look at success as completion, so for example, if you have a task that is meant to move you forward in your business and you are successful in completing that task, then you need to acknowledge that you have success within that one step. And basically what I'm trying to say is the way that it needs to be thought of is by bringing it down and making it, extrapolating it to smaller moments so that when it happens, so that it makes sense for it to happen as a big moment. But if you only look at the big moment and you ignore all the little times that you have been successful or that you were able to give yourself that success, then you are always going to feel like you are at a distance from that bigger goal or that bigger version of what success is. And I just made a shorter video actually about that is kind of congruent with this in the fact that there's certain things that you cannot obtain without being able to put them into practice. So the example that I used had to do with, or the message that was coming through for that video was specifically for teachers and leaders, because I am sitting in an energy right now where I feel like I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of wisdom to share, but I am not fully confident in my way of articulating and explaining to people. And that's pretty evident even within these videos. Is I have a lot of moments where you can see me thinking, or I get tripped up on my words, and I take a little longer to try to give myself the space to articulate clearly. But because I have this internal subconscious feeling that I am not articulating it well, it creates this kind of energy that shows that I'm doubting. And it's like, it is an energy that can be felt through these videos. And I do believe that's why my videos don't have the retention rate that I would prefer. I've said this before, that when I created this channel, like, I didn't really have a goal. I don't have a goal to go viral in a sense, or be super duper popular, get 1,000 views, or not even 1,000 views, like millions of views. That's not my aim or intention for this channel. However, it is my intention to reach more people than I can in my physical reality. And I believe the reason why I'm not achieving that right now is because there is a part of me that feels like I'm not the best person, or I'm not yet qualified, or I'm not in the state of mastery, and therefore I shouldn't be teaching. But, and this has also been addressed in other videos, I won't be able to get there if I don't put it into practice. I know through conversations with people and with little sessions that I've gotten to do with certain people that what I'm saying is helpful. It is beneficial to people, to the right people. And it is really just about me being confident in the fact that no matter how I deliver it, I will get to a point where it will be very clear to them. Or if it's a one-on-one thing, they will ask the questions so that if I'm not being articulate enough, then I will have the feedback and I'll be able to refine and be able to improve because I'm practicing. And if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you are in an energy as well where you need to apply this to your life, where there are things that you want or positions you feel you should be in, and it's not that you're not in there or you're not ready for them. It's just that you are now at a stage where you know it well enough that you just need to put it into practice so that it can refine itself and expand and get you to a level of where you want. And that will open up the doors of opportunity for the way or the bigger ways for that to come in will be allowed to come in. I really, really hope this resonates, and I really hope this makes sense for what I'm saying. Let me just look through and see if there's anything else that is relating specifically to this that thinks it could. Oh, yes. So something else or the way that he put it is that we can only ever find ourselves in the present moment. And a lot of people tend to try to find themselves outside of it. So I guess the way to put that is identifying a version of yourself that you want to be only with the outcome of the end goal, which is in the future. And it's like, if you are constantly identifying with the future version of yourself, or even with the past version of yourself, then it doesn't leave anything for the present. And this is just a really long-winded way of saying that everything that you want to experience can be experienced in the present moment. But, here we are. But we have to let go of the ways in which that we want to experience it to allow ourselves to have the experience. I'm just going to give another example within love, because I think that is also another way, or just another form of perspective to look at. But it is like, if you feel that you're lacking love and you are constantly in search for that perfect love, or for some perfect person to give you the love that you want, and you ignore all the ways that you can feel that love for yourself right now. So, what it does is it creates distance between you and what you want. Or if you act out of desperation for it, you're going to call in a version of whatever that is energetically congruent with how you feel right now. So if you have a lot of lack when it comes to love, and you are hell-bent on finding a partner, you're going to attract a partner who one, also feels that lack, and two, is going to reflect that lack back to you. Because in the beginning, their companionship and having the relationship might fill that void for a temporary moment, but in the long run, you're going to feel that lack within the fact that it's not going to reflect a love that is authentic to you, because it was born out of lack. So again, it's like, how can I experience love right now? Maybe when you're out and you see a girl that, I don't know why this is, or a person, sorry, I don't know why that got like so specific. Maybe I'm speaking to masculines here. Energetically a masculine. But maybe you see somebody that you are interested in. Self-love, or like, you can love yourself in that moment by going up and talking to them, feeling that you love yourself enough to give yourself the chance to experience something in which, or to even try, to feel that you deserve the experience of trying. And whether that actually plays out the way you want it or not, you can look at the situation and still have the feeling of that you love yourself enough to be open enough to allow that experience to happen or to not happen. And again, yeah, it's not really about the outcome or how things play out. It's just, can you take the opportunity in the moment to have that feeling for yourself? Anyways, I think that is it. There are other notes on here, but it doesn't relate as much as I thought it would. I think they are meant for a separate message. Anyways, I really hope it resonated. And if it did, and if you are wanting to be a little bit more intentional when it comes to your life, I want to say a program. I've developed this program that I'm calling conscious life planning. And if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, if there are areas of your life that you don't feel are going the way you want, and you want a little bit more direction, you want some guidance as to how to obtain the feeling that you actually want, find me in the description. I have my link tree available, and you can book a session with me. But even if you don't, if that isn't something that you'd like to do, I want to appreciate you so much for listening to me and for staying tuned in. And until next time, goodbye.